right, and it's still going on backstage. FSO 22nd Annual. Man, we're at the Georgia World Congress Center. They're just coming in and coming out. He needs no introduction. You know this face, you know this man. But Michael Baisden is in the house. Hello there.
Introducing a man who needs no introduction.
You don't need an introduction.
It's great being here. Thanks for having me.
You're a legend, and we're just happy that you're here. So are you ready for today? You're going to be doing the relationship panel?
I'm always ready.
So what are you going to teach us today?
Everything. We have to talk about everything. It is for sisters only, right?
Yes.
So we have to talk.
So you're going to go from A to Z?
Well, we won't have enough time to go from A to Z. We'll get to A to M or N for sure.
If you could give just a quick piece of relationship advice for anyone who may see this in a couple of minutes, what would you say? Just something that...
Well, that's easy. I mean, since we're talking to women and sisters only, I would say that, you know, there's a lot of male bashing, and some of it is justified. But women are not going to improve their situation by bashing men. It doesn't change anything, right? It doesn't make women responsible for what? Their choices.
Right.
So instead of looking at it as bad men are the reason why women have an unhealthy relationship, it's bad choices.
Yeah.
So we have to start talking about why they're making those choices.
Because you're choosing to be with that bad man if he ends up being the bad man. So it is about a choice.
Then women's relationships with other women has always been interesting to me. You know, we talk about deadbeats. We know the impact of young girls, their choices based on their fathers not being around. But also is the impact based on how they see women treating other women and how they see their women friends in their lives or women in their lives being allowing men to treat them. So it's not just about men not being there. We like to make it simple and say it's just the guys, but really, women are observing other women. So we have to ask ourselves, are women setting good examples of other women?
That is very true because you do, in a sense, mimic. Oh, this is working for her, or this is what she's doing, and she's got so-and-so, or she's got this or that. They do mimic their behaviors off of one another.
I mean,
that's an interesting point.
You get a lot of hate, actually.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because you know, if you're an attractive woman, if you're a smart woman, if you carry yourself with any class and intelligence, you know, you're stuck up or you're snooty, and sometimes it goes as far as the B word. You know, it can really get ugly. Instead of uplifting women who are trying to do positive things, we're not
tear them down.
Exactly. And reality TV is just reinforcing that. I'm not trying to attack all reality TV, but unfortunately, the most belligerent and obnoxious people become the stars. And so, what message is that sending?
Yes, and I'm glad you said that because I wanted to ask you that. Like, speaking of relationships and then the kind of relationship you see on reality television,
right?
That's not healthy.
Unhealthy. It's become so self-destructive. In fact, I mean, we've gone from the Cosby to different world to living single to this.
Yes.
I mean, that is quite a
good
reversal.
Point.
You know, I mean, it's really dramatic if you think about it. How far back we've come, and that's considered entertainment. And I'm gonna tell you what I know. But if you give people substantive content, if you talk about just like I did on radio for 10 years, that's why we were number one. That's why we were successful because we talked about things that had content. But see, that's difficult. See, that's hard to do. Being ignorant and loud and belligerent, that's easy.
Yes.
So I think that we've just migrated to things that have become easy to do instead of challenging ourselves to be smarter, to have a different perspective, to change, which is really what it comes down to, people being afraid to change. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today, why we're afraid to change.
Well, I love it. Change is good, trust me, especially when you're talking about that. Change is good. And right quick, speaking of the radio and all of that, what's next for you?
You know,
in the books, you're an author as well. What's next for you?
Well, first of all, we have a new book coming out next month. It's called Raise Your Hand If You Have Issues.
Okay.
That means everybody behind
Put
the
a hand
camera
up.
need to have their hand
Right.
And it's all kind of issues. It's living your dream issues. It's issues with, in terms of relationships. It's issues with kids. You know, issue with marriage, which I love. You know, people think I'm against marriage. I'm against bad marriage.
Right.
So there's so many things to talk about in terms of that book. Raise Your Hand if you have issues. Also, my focus has been mentoring. You know, ever since Gina Six and Trayvon Martin, these marches that I led, I have been out here advocating for mentors. We got 10,000 black boys looking for black male mentors.
Yeah.
We have more white males mentoring black boys than black men.
You're right about that.
And that's a problem. So that is a focus of mine. It's a passion. As far as getting back to radio, I'm kind of a universal guy. I'm not a religious person, but I'm a very spiritual, universal person. I think when it's time for that to happen, if it's time for it to happen, I'll get back into it. Right now, I'm enjoying focusing on the kids.
I love it. Well, you give us so much knowledge and so many gifts every time you're a part of something. So we just appreciate everything you bring to us. And just keep doing what you're doing. I'm looking forward to hearing a little bit of that panel. I want to see what people have to say. Because I know you're going to keep it real with them, like lay it on the line.
Keep it real and keep it classy. Because I don't think you need to be, you know. So I think that for us, we think that intelligence, or should I say, we want so much attention, we think the best way to do it is to jump up and set ourselves on fire.
Or twerk. Yes.
Right. As opposed to just saying something that resonates with people and make them go,
right.
That's the plan.
Love it. Yeah. And we can stop right there.
Otherwise, we'll be doing a whole seminar here.
Yeah, we will be. I love it. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks for
Can't wait to
having
see you on stage.
Thank you.
Y'all stay close.